again. Hope you are nice and relaxed. Hope you've had a good morning. I am still ill. I think last week I was just getting ill. Now I'm sort of at the tail end of it. So apologies for any coughing or if my voice goes. But we are doing Shoggoth still. Oh dear. Yes, we are working on these jellyfish. I reckon we can finish this jellyfish today. Just checking everything's working. Hopefully you can hear me. Should all be fine. Yeah. Hope you're nice and relaxed. If you're not, get relaxed. Have a sit down. You're probably already sitting down if you're watching this. But get cozy, get some water. I'll probably be drinking lots of water. And yeah, if you want to grab a pen and paper or tablet or whatever you like to work on, or if you're doing some painting or not doing anything at all, that's fine. But yeah, if you want to use this time for hobbying, getting some work done, if you need a background video, sometimes it's hard to see these lines in context. I think that's okay. I've not done a whole lot this week, to be honest. I did get a nice squat session in at the gym. First time using the safety squat bar. So I did 4x5 at 80 kilos with the normal bar, and then 4x5 at 60 with the safety bar, followed by some accessories. Which was nice. It's nice to start progressing the squat, really, because mostly focusing on deadlift, as that is the main reason I'm there. Sort of deadlift to improve my back health, because I have a lower back injury. And as long as I'm deadlifting safely, it is helping. I was advised by a physio to try deadlifting. That is why I'm doing it. If you have low back pain, talk to your physio. Find out about whether or not they think deadlifting might help, because I saw probably 5 different physios and did stretching for, near on 2 years. And it just wasn't helping. And then one day we discovered that there was an element of muscle in there. It was a really simple test. You sort of bend forwards to like a point of discomfort with the lower back pain, and then put my hands on something to alleviate that, to sort of remove some of the muscle that I was using out, and the back pain lessened, which meant there was an element of muscle in there. So strengthening it helps. In my case, I'm not sure if that would be the case for everyone, but it's worth giving it a go because I was kind of at a loss, to be honest. Didn't know what to do about it. Nothing was helping. And I would say it is, on good days, 80% better. On bad days, 20% better. So definitely worth trying. What else did I do this week? I finished Tales from the Loop, which is a sort of anthology series. It is not anthology. It is set in the same town with the same characters, but it sort of tackles a different sci-fi element every episode. It was good. No spoilers. I would have liked the ending to possibly be slightly less sad, I suppose. Although there was like an area? That's the wrong word, sorry. An air. There's sort of an air of like slightly nihilistic realism to it, which obviously is good. But I think possibly I wasn't ready for it. And I started watching Mr. and Mrs. Smith, which is a TV show on Prime. TV show. I suppose they're not called TV shows anymore. Well, I mean, loads of people watch them on the TV. I just watch it on my computer. It is pretty good so far, I think. I watched it in a couple of days. I've not had any time. I've tried to make Saturday evenings my painting evenings, but I didn't get to paint until very late last night. Didn't get to start painting, so I only did a very little bit of painting. But I did manage to get a little bit in. I got all the cloth done on 2 of my 13 or so Pathfinders. I suppose they don't all have cloth on, but some of them are drones. Pathfinders are... This is Pathfinder Kill Team, so this is was a box set released for Kill Team, which is a game type, a small scale game type for Warhammer. And now the Tau, which are little blue dudes, blue skinned, not like Space Marines. Well, oh my god, I said Space Marines. So I was looking at Ultramarines the other day because I was thinking about doing a Grimdark, like a proper Grimdark Ultramarine, just a single model. And I realised Ultramarines kind of don't exist anymore. They do, and they don't. But basically, they're just called Space Marines. Like, if you click on Space Marines, they're all blue. Space Marines used to mean all chapters, I'm sure. Anyway, let's go back to Mr. and Mrs. Smith. It is Donald Glover. I did see his name credited as executive producer on something, on one of the episodes as well, so I'm not sure. Not sure how much involvement he has in the show. Perhaps he also does some writing, or maybe he was just producing that episode that I saw him credited for. Not sure. But yeah, it's sort of expanding on the lore a lot. I guess a lot more. I mean, it's a series, so it has to be a lot more in depth than the movie. I'm not sure what other media it's been in. I don't know. Did it start as a book? I'm not sure. If it did, then obviously they have a lot of source material to expand upon. I thought it was just like a one-hit action movie, sorry. But I've never looked into it. So forgive me if I'm talking about a book you enjoy. I am starving. I haven't had a chance to eat today. Yeah, we're working on this jellyfish for this illustration I started a long time ago. I came up with the idea and made the sketch a couple of years ago. This is going to be this lady and her jellyfish friends or something fighting an entity which I later decided would be a Shoggoth. But I haven't decided what I'm going to make Shoggoth look like. Is it going to be a giant mass of eyes? Initially I had the idea of having it sort of take a humanoid form, but still be covered in eyes. Then I thought maybe just a mass of eyes. But I haven't decided yet, that's why it's not on the screen. I feel like I'm really losing my voice already. So apologies for that. Yeah, Mr. and Mrs. Smith is pretty good. It's a bit odd in places. It's sort of trying to tell a story in I mean, yeah. The setting creates unique issues. And I feel like the last episode I watched was like unnecessarily dramery. Not really very human, or like realistic, I suppose. But they are in a high pressure. They're in high pressure environments. I think possibly maybe just the writing on that particular episode wasn't that great. Something was off about it anyway. But as a whole, so far, I think I'm halfway through. Which I don't know how many episodes there are. I think I'm about 5. I think I'm on episode 5 or 6. As a whole, it's been good. It's got silly moments and some fairly decent comedy. Donald Glover, aka Childish Gambino, is fantastic. His co-star is also fantastic. I do not know her name, unfortunately. Let's look it up. Save you. Maya Erskine is her name. Yeah. She's good. So I've got a random question generator thing here. Thought it might be a quick way to come up with some talking points. Or just to keep the flow of talking going. This question is, what board games do you like the most? I have to say I haven't played many board games. We had a few growing up as a kid. Obviously, I've played chess and things like that. That was one I really liked. Where you get all your pieces, you got to try and get all your pieces to the other side. It's like, goes like this. Cannot remember the name of that game. I seem to remember liking that as a kid. And the classic Mousetrap. But I haven't played, any unique board games. There was that one that had the VHS as well. What's that called? Because that's kind of a masterpiece, and it's been redone recently. But was there even a board? I can't remember. What classifies as a board game? We play quite a lot of Uno. That's a card game. But it's like, it's always with the board games, isn't it? I love D&D. Is that a board game? I mean, it's a tabletop RPG, obviously. But like, do tabletop games count as board games, or does board game mean you have to have a board involved? If it does, I've played very little. Monopoly, chess. The game I can't remember the name of. I mean, we had board games growing up, but none of them stuck in my head. I don't remember any of them, really. And I just sort of been a bit of a renaissance with board games. Lots of people are really into them. And there's lots of really cool ones out. I nearly took a job once in North London doing manuals for board games, but it was just too far away to commute. It was like North London, and I live on the southeast coast, so it would have been 3 hours to get there. And I don't want to live in London. I don't. London's too busy for me. But I would have loved that job. And I would be a lot more knowledgeable about board games right now. Oh well, eh? Oh no, what have I done? The game I'm thinking of with the VHS, I want to find the name of it. Atmosphere or Nightmare. Yeah. It's very funny. Is it called Ludo? No, that's nothing like it. Just trying to remember this other game. Backgammon. How could I forget? I seem to remember liking that. Anyway. Another random question. If you get rid the world of one disease, what would it be? Okay, obviously that question is not written right, but if you could remove one disease from the world, what would it be? I'm pretty sure there's only one answer. To be cancer. But degenerative brain diseases are also going to be up there. But I don't think this is a particularly chilled stream topic. You might want to be escaping thoughts of those things, so let's move on. Favorite day of the week? All the weeks blur into one for me. My favorite day of the week is a day which I wake up feeling good and I get to do things that make me feel good. Some kind of decent exercise, and then a relaxing evening with, on the sofa with my partner, eating some food. That is a good day of the week. And that could be any day of the week. Good jiu-jitsu session or a good gym session. Lots of lovely endorphins. That's a good day. If you inherited or won $1 million, what's the very first thing you would do with the money? So I would love to build a house. Probably not from scratch. I would like an old farmhouse maybe. And I would like to make it nice and modern on the inside. And basically, unless you have a seriously well-paying job, at the moment it's pretty much impossible to get a house. So yeah, I would love to build a house. I would like to build a house with a studio, so I'd maybe have a barn converted into a studio with a pool table. Maybe my office in there. And yeah, recording studio, and then just get people in for sessions. Also, I'd be able to play drums every day, which would be amazing. It's the dream. One day have a little studio. So I suppose the first thing I would do is research. Thought something had gone horribly wrong here, but that's just the old brain confusing me. It's all okay. If I actually had, you know, money, yeah, I would need a house, but I think I would like to budget a certain amount of that money into charity, or not like just throw a load of money at charity. Probably look into some form of activism. Maybe fund a activist group within a sector that needs it, really. Trans rights are particularly terrible at the moment. It's in a bad way. Lots of people's attitudes are absurd. And I really feel for you, and I hope you're okay. If you are in the trans community, it is extremely rough. I can see that. And it absolutely should not be. So yeah, work out some way of budgeting that money into having a safe and secure place to live, because it's really the source of my mental health problems. I think it all comes from not having a stable and safe place to fall back on if everything goes wrong. I think a lot of my problems come from that. Sort of, if you're homeless, you're on your own, that kind of situation. Has bred lots of fear in my general sort of world, and I don't even want to talk about it, actually. Everyone should have a safe place to go. Everyone should have a safety net. It's hard to live without one. It messed me up anyway. So lots of people can deal without it, but apparently cannot. Another question. Let's find a question that's Let's find a relevant question. Mm-hmm. This question is, what time do you normally go to bed? I wish I could answer that. My goals change. Usually it's too late. Too late would be the answer. Sometimes I just have to get things done. I don't have... Yeah, sometimes I just have to get things done. Sometimes I can't sleep. I'll go to bed at 11 and I won't sleep until 3 or 4. That's happened twice this week. Which sucks. Yeah, too late would be the answer. Because whatever time it is, it's usually too late. Even if it seems like a reasonable time. But my goal is about 12. Sorry, my words got stuck. That's the goal, but it's rarely ever met. What are you all doing for the rest of your day? I have a Japanese lesson. I haven't confirmed it, but it's probably still happening. Which will be fun. And other than that, I just have to finish editing Wednesday's video. Which is actually going to take quite a while. I've got quite a lot of editing to do on it. Usually I have more of it done by now, but with being ill and such, not found the time. That's okay. There is still enough time. Whoa, curly. Not too curly. We haven't had a banana one today. This is a good one. What is your favourite smell? I grew up in Brighton and there was like a cookie stall, small shop type thing in the shopping centre, and my god did it smell good. I don't think I ever got a cookie from there. Don't think I was ever allowed a cookie, but oh, they smelled so good. And the ultimate smell for me, which I still do to this day, is Pokemon cards. When I open a pack of Pokemon cards, I got to smell them. It just releases a massive nostalgic rush of dopamine without fail every time. It's wonderful. Because Pokemon cards were a small luxury I was afforded as a child. Every now and then, my mum would buy me a few packs. Like, I'd have a day off school and we'd go to town and she'd buy me a couple of packs of Pokemon cards, and it was hugely appreciated. They were a lot cheaper back then. I think they're about £1.20. Now they're like £4.50. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Now you've got to buy massive box sets. I mean, even the boxes, the box of 36 booster packs are like sometimes like £200. I was buying them. What year? I was buying about maybe 8 years ago for about 80 quid. Set 60 maybe, 60 to £80, I think. Oh. Pokemon cards are too expensive now. Now they're back to being a treat. Certainly only get Pokemon cards when I can afford them. Not just whenever I want them. I have to be like, is this a good idea? Is this little bit of nostalgic dopamine and like bit of excitement worth the cost? Sometimes the answer is yes. I hope that is always the case. I hope sometimes the answer can always be yes for all of you. Whatever that little thing is that you like. It keeps them special though. Although even when I was opening boxes, like I tried to complete a whole set. I can't remember what set now. I think I got pretty close. I bought like 7 or 8 boxes when I was a bit more frivolous and my rent was a lot cheaper. And you know, I saved them. I'd open like a couple of packs a day or whatever. And that kept it special. Even though I had, you know, like boxes of them to open. They're still special. They're even more special now. Wow, they're so cool now. Like the boxes I was getting was when like reverse hollows were just being introduced, I think. They were cool. But now you get so many more full arts in like a set. Are you okay? You're fine. So yeah, if anyone wants to sponsor my Pokemon habit, set up like a bio site where you can donate, which is in my Instagram bio. But I will stick it in the YouTube videos soon. Probably next time. Should probably write a note of that. If you want to get me some Pokemon cards, it'll be like, get me a coffee, but get me a pack of Pokemon cards. What's the worst job you've ever had? I mean, not had loads of jobs. I was a bar manager for 4 years-ish, I think. And that job was both amazing and hell. Eventually I learned that you just have to join in. When you join in, it's a lot more fun, a lot less hellish. But I never considered it as being a worst job, not even close. I was just happy to be working. I mean, I loved that job. I loved the place. I loved everything about it. As a graphic designer, a freelance graphic designer, I've had bad jobs, as in a bad job that lasts a not long amount of time. I've had plenty of those. Wouldn't want to call anyone out though. Sometimes you just get a client that doesn't know what they want or something. But well, yeah, I mean, I don't take jobs that are like questionable morally or anything. Okay. I wouldn't work in a sector that was dodgy, pharmaceuticals or something. Should we finish up here before we come down here? I think we should do that. What else did I do? I worked in a place that wasn't like a homeless shelter, but it was a place where anyone on low income could come and get like a meal for cheap. It was like £1 or something. You can get tea and coffee and stuff for cheap or free, and then you could go and wash your clothes, have a shower. And it was mostly drug addicts and homeless people. And I met the most interesting and amazing people I've ever met there. They are all so amazing, really. Some of them were just so sweet and lovely. I got mugged on the way to that job once. That was pretty tense. But that was certainly not a bad job. It was a lovely job. It was so rewarding that any of the incidents that, would inevitably happen there just didn't matter. See, I've had some bad jobs working as a designer, but I've never had a bad job. This question is, what's the weirdest dream you've ever had? And I'm fairly sure no one likes to hear about other people's dreams because they're so irrelevant to them. But I used to have recurring fever dreams when I was ill, when I was a kid, about getting chased by a giant 2p piece. It is so vivid. But no need to elaborate. People don't like hearing about other people's dreams. I haven't had it since I was a kid. I can't decide if I want this to be like that. I'm just gonna allow it. Right, start bringing you in. Hard to tell exactly what's going on here, but I haven't had a chance to play any more of The Last of Us this week. I got past the graveyard. No, I think I literally just got past the graveyard. I didn't even do the next bit. And then there was some crappy save glitchy error, so I think I need to do the graveyard bit again. So I can't really talk about that. But I have wanted to play it, which is a good sign. A recurring fever penny dream is not the worst. It's not the weirdest dream I've ever had, obviously. I mean, I can even remember weirder dreams, but it's just odd because it was recurring. Kept having it. This question's a bit trashy. Who's your first celebrity crush? I don't know. I'm thinking probably Kirsten Dunst in Small Soldiers. Was that about 97? I was about 7 years old. Can't think of any. Would have been around that age of watching movies. Can't think of what other movies sort of were out around then. Oh, I can't remember. Let's go with Kirsten Dunst, Small Soldiers. What is one thing you refuse to share? I assume this means like an object and sharing with someone else, not like a thought, because otherwise, asking the question, well, there wouldn't be an answer because you refuse. Toothbrush, maybe. I have like a phobia of creams or anything like that, so I wouldn't want to share anything like that I had to, because that would just add another element of discomfort to the process. I wouldn't want to share toothpaste either. There you go, toothpaste. I reckon that's the one. Share everything else. This is very messy. Oh well. Oh, that's supposed to match with that. Right. Let's have a little think here. We need to simplify these lines a little. Down here. Out there. Down here. Out here. Come out. There you go. That'll do. Let's bring you in a bit, can't we? Who is the most famous person you've ever met? Ooh. Don't know if I've met anyone famous. I suppose I've sort of said hello in passing to some people. I don't really want to bother people, as like if they're like out for a drink in the town or something, which has happened on occasion. Steve Coogan and Greg Davies. Recently, or in the last couple of years, we're down in the old town. Greg Davies was down when I was playing a gig though, so I couldn't have. I think he walked past while I was playing a gig, while I was actually playing, so I wouldn't have been able to harass him even if I wanted to. But I don't want to, not really. I'd like to say hello, just like a quick hey. But I can't really think about anyone major that I've spent a chunk of time with. Various musicians, I suppose, over the years. But I feel like they're quite obscure to most people. Just not to me. Some of them are my heroes or just peers that I very much respect and appreciate the music they create. And there was a particular Snarky Puppy gig where I got to chat with a few of them. It was maybe one before the show, one during the show, and one on the mid session interval, I think. It was a venue that I'd played just a couple of weeks before. So that was double awesome. I saw Snarky Puppy there. Yeah, I think I played there, and then the next week I watched Snarky Puppy play there. It was a lot busier for Snarky Puppy, that's for sure. But they were all really sweet dudes. Massive inspirations to me. Right, this isn't good, is it? You'll do. Something's popped up. What is it? I think we're still here, aren't we? Yeah, we're still here. Let's have a 5-minute break. I'm going to have a wee and snack. And yeah, I'll see you in 5 minutes. Howdy. We are back. Oh dear. Hope you're well. It's currently Sunday afternoon at 3:19 in the afternoon. I did say that, but just to make sure. It's not in the morning. And yeah, we're doing Confronting Shoggoth. And I'm just going through some random questions. And this question is, do you have posters up on your room walls? And I do. That one there is a poster I did for Kid Capici. And the one just here, which you definitely can't see, is a poster I did for one of my bands. Thought it would be fun to set them up. I got massive prints done. They're much bigger than I thought they were going to be. I can't remember what they are now. I think they're A0, which is very big. But still, you know, I knew they were going to be big, but they still surprised me. They sometimes fall down. The weight of themselves is too heavy for them. But I thought it'd be a cool backdrop for videos, even though it's blurred. It's something. It's better than a bare wall, I feel like. I feel like I've come back to this with a heavy hand. How heavy are these lines? Let's say they're too heavy. What is on your bedside table? Well, my bedside table is a cajon, which is a percussion instrument. It's just the only place it can fit, really. What's on it is a couple of issues of White Dwarf and a couple of books that I really must start reading. That were both gifts. All of them were gifts, I think, actually. I think both issues of the White Dwarf were also gifts. Or one of them I got and one of them was a gift, I'm not sure. And there's also a weird pumpkin bear thing, which was gifted to my partner. And that has a Christmas hat on it. And then there's a collection of small plastic animals that are eating a starburst. You know, normal stuff. Perfectly normal stuff. And that's everything that's on there. It's only a very small area about this. Yeah. What are your major goals in life? Well, these change. What I would really like to do one day is to have my company sustainable and be able to offer young designers a job, because there's no design jobs in this town. And yeah, the thought of like plucking someone out of college or something and just giving them a full like going to a college, getting a graphic design student and just being like, do you want a full-time graphic design job right now? You know, don't worry about going to university and getting in debt. Just come and have a job. Like, that would be so cool. I would love to be able to give someone that opportunity. And that's like the main goal of my business, would be to have it sustainable to a point where I could offer that to someone. Like, I'd love to be able to do that like once a year. Just go grab a student, be like, here, have a job. Life goal right now is to find a way to get a house. That's the main life goal currently. And it's not easy. But that's where we're at. Other than that, it's like just improvement things. I need to be training more regularly. It's a pain in the ass where I am. I don't drive. So I suppose like quite a short-term life goal currently is getting my driver's license so I can get to town more, so I can train more. Did that make that better or worse? I'm just gonna allow it. Yeah, that's what's going on at the moment. Trying to think if I have any like music related goals, and I've just sort of started a new band, so I would love for that to progress in a way which we're all really excited about. Really just get some tracks we're all really proud of together, release them, and do some shows that we, you know, have like a reason to get excited about, because, you know, I've been gigging a long time and I've never wanted to make it as a musician. That's not like the goal for me in playing music. My goal is to write things that I'm proud of. Sometimes it's just I might just be in a band just to get experience, so like just to have time behind the kit. But bands where I'm writing the music as well are the bands that I care the most about. really enjoy writing. I really enjoy being part of the process. I prefer a team effort when writing to just one person writing. Even if that one person is me, you know, I like it. You know, come up with one of you comes up with an idea and then it's filtered through the rest. Which is what we have currently, and it's great. We're at very early stages still, though. We are polishing off our second track, I would say. And got a couple of other things floating around, I believe. So I think there's a third song waiting to be written. Then I've got a track that I've been head canon writing. I've been sort of writing a song in my head that I haven't had time to start putting it together yet, but that's going somewhere in my head. Is a good, like, I can do that sometimes, part of my process. I'm looking forward to having that rewritten together. Yeah, we're going to get like a chunk of songs together and then decide whether we'll release an album or an EP depending on the strength of the songs. If we're happy with, you know, we'll go like 8 songs together. If we're happy with all 8 of them, then we'll release them together. If not, if we think like 4 are massively stronger than others, then we'll release 4 of them, I suppose, as an EP. I'm not fussed either way. Just be nice to play some music that you're really proud of. Is it's a special thing that one can do. All over the place here. Yeah, so I suppose the music goal is just to keep working on this and create some songs that we're all proud of. Those questions were starting to repeat themselves, which is strange. They didn't have that many on that random question generator site, so I'm just looking for another website. What do you think the most important invention in your lifetime is? Well, the internet. I don't know if the internet was definitely created before I was born. But it's only really been accessible the last 10 years, right? Or like super accessible the last 10 years, and then like pretty accessible the last 20. I was born in 1990. The internet must have existed in the probably early 80s, right? I don't know. I actually don't know. Let's find out. When was the internet invented? 1983, yeah. But this website doesn't even work. But yeah, I mean, the internet, come on. I'm counting it. I mean, I'm going to count it because it's had the most global impact of anything that's ever happened, probably. Well, all right, electricity, and then the internet. Not that I'm saying it's vital to life or anything, but it has had a massive impact in so many ways. And really, it's just a way of sharing information. For what it is, so much has been done with it. Like, the resources young people have when learning now is awesome. I am obviously jealous. You get these kids playing drums who are just amazing because they have access to so much information so young. It's the same with everything. All things. Not just drums. Like, you can learn absolutely anything on the internet, right? You can create businesses. You can be endlessly entertained. Speak with people all over the world. So much. Conversation wheel. Let's go. Spin it. What's your favourite colour? I don't think this website's going to be that good. But I do have things to say about colours. My favourite colour used to be green. And then since I've been designing... blue. I never really cared for blue, but blue is a great colour to design with because... if you think about, like, red is not a great colour to design with. Because light red is pink and dark red is brown. But light blue is light blue and dark blue is dark blue. There's way more shades of blue. Like, you can do more with blue. I still like green, but I would say, like, there's a specific colour that I really like, which is... it's like a very red pink. It's like the hottest pink. I really like that colour. And I really like purple and light blue together, like in my logo. I'll allow you one more. One more spin of this wheel. What's your favourite season? Why? Okay, we'll do something else. But also my seasons have changed. I mean, I like winter because it's cold, and I'm not a big fan of the heat. I mean, I barely function in the summer. So winter is better. So probably winter is my favourite season. I like snow. We don't get it very often, but that's probably why I like it. I'm sure places that get snow all the time don't like it so much. Yeah, right. Winter because it's cold. Or really winter because it's not so hot I can't think or move. Alright, you're a pretty weird tentacle, but we'll let that go. No, we'll embrace it. Come on, tentacle. You be your weird self. I think we need to... that's coming from here. What are you all going to do with the rest of your day? I am going to do some editing and some Japanese lesson. I've got some work to do as well. Which I can hopefully fit a bit of in. And my normal daily tasks. So I've got my 500 reps on the dumbbells. And that's pretty much it at the moment. I've taken quite a lot of stuff off my dailies. Give myself a little bit of... take off a little bit of pressure. Because I've got quite a lot going on at the moment. I don't want to feel burnt out. Go away, pop up. Generate topic. Wow, okay, this is a very different vibe. The impact of peer pressure on health behaviours. I'm not sure what it means by health behaviours. So it's going to be difficult to answer that question. Maybe if we're talking about like behaviours that impact your health, I think anyone susceptible to peer pressure, which is going to be probably based on age and environment, I think they're probably not thinking about their health. I would say peer pressure probably exists less as an adult. Adults tend to be more like, you don't have to do the thing that I'm doing. and it's like less of a big deal. Like when you're forming friendships as a child, or like a youth or whatever, you tend to be friends with the people that you do the same things with, and I think as an adult that's not necessary. It's still to do with it for sure. But you can still have relationships with people and be different, like do different things. So I would say the impact of peer pressure on health behaviors. So for instance, smoking or taking drugs maybe, or positive things like the gym. I would say they're pretty huge. And I would say like as an adult, it's probably you probably feel obligated even to chuck a bit of peer pressure into like maybe getting your friend to the gym. Maybe, I mean, kids as well, just not the kids that I hung around with or me wouldn't have been like, oi, get to the gym, we're going to be healthy. We didn't think about health, we were just like, should we get high because that's enjoyable. We certainly wouldn't make anyone get high. There was certainly no peer pressure like that. So I suppose there's negative and positive peer pressure. Those things. There must be those both aspects of it, which I never thought about. Always just considered peer pressure to be a negative, but of course it's not. Anyway, I think that's as much as I'm qualified to say on that subject. Can I have some water? I'm very dry. Okay, some of these things are like too specific, and some of them are a bit dark. So just trying to find one that is a little bit okay. I mean, I don't even know what that means. So yeah. Like community engagement in real estate. What? I don't know anything about real estate. The intrigue of unsolved historical enigmas. God, I wish I knew more about that. The intrigue of unsolved historical enigmas. I can't. What's a good unsolved historical enigma? See if we can even think of one. We're gonna have to look. I'm gonna have to look. Jack the Ripper. Jack the Ripper's quite an annoying one, I think. I found it annoying. Like, the concept is annoying because it can't really be solved. And that's all anyone wants, right? They want to know who. But, you know, the reality is it probably wasn't even one person. Or maybe they know it was and wasn't. I don't know. I'm not clued up on it. They probably know more now than they ever have. But, like, record keeping wasn't great. Probably a nightmare cross-referencing all the stuff they do have to try and find some actual facts. But where's the intrigue, right? The intrigue is in... I suppose it is in the sense that it can't be solved. Or that no one can be brought to justice for it. And there were a couple of other things that came up, like the Bermuda Triangle. I'm pretty sure that's probably been debunked. Or like how the pyramids were built. Which I don't know. I mean, there's the Red Dwarf line, which is they had whips, Rimmer. Massive, massive whips. And there's probably some truth to that. Unfortunately. And also one that came up was Roanoke, which I don't know anything about, and I haven't even watched the American Horror Story series about, so I can't talk about that either. I suppose, right, the intrigue is in mystery, right? Mysteries are intriguing to everyone. So I suppose the key word here is unsolved. The intrigue is in hoping someone will solve it, and the fact that it is unsolved or unsolvable. So it's hard to... It's something that we don't know enough about, that we want to know something about. I think I'm losing it anyway. This illness is still very much with me. My brain's pretty foggy. I feel exhausted. So we won't carry on for too much more. Let's see if we can find a topic to finish on. Well, this is just one word and it says inspiration. So where do you find inspiration? I have like private playlists on YouTube. So I'll have like painting inspiration, songwriting inspiration, video editing inspiration. And I'll just, if I'm watching a video and I'm like, oh, that was a cool little bit, I'll stick that video in one of those folders, one of those playlists. Because I'm constantly inspired by the things that I consume. Maybe like a new song will come out from a band I like and I'm like, oh man, that little bit there, I would love to, or I get inspired by a riff and or I get inspired by like a mood of a song and I'm like, oh man, I've got to do something with that. sometimes I'll be like playing, I'll be trying to work out a song on guitar from somebody else, and I'll be like, oh wow, that's cool. And then I get inspired to write a song because I couldn't work it out. I couldn't work out the song I was playing, but I worked something else out whilst trying to work it out. Or I'll hear like a rhythm, and I'm like, oh yes, that's something I have to steal. I don't actually steal. I don't copy other music or anything. Because there's no fun in that. But I get inspired by like a mood or like a pace. So it won't necessarily be the exact rhythm, but it's like, oh, I really like what they're doing. Or like there's a way of they're using metric modulation there, which is really interesting. I'd love to use that. Not the metric modulation they're using, but like recreating that kind of feel that I got whilst listening to it. That kind of thing. All the stealing I've done has been completely by accident. Sometimes I'll write a riff and I'm like, this feels really familiar, and then I'm like, crap, it's a Metallica song or something silly like that. Like, I don't even listen to Metallica, and I'm like, man, definitely can't steal from a band I don't listen to. I did listen to Metallica when I was a young'un. But they stopped inspiring me a long time ago. But yeah, so musicians inspire me all the time, daily probably. And they don't just inspire me to write music, they inspire me to make art as well. Sometimes I'll get like a color or a mood from a song, and I'll be like, I just immediately get an idea for illustration or something. I think I've said this before, but a lot of my inspiration happens when I'm in the shower. I will just randomly write a song in the shower, or maybe like a lyric, or think of a piece of art, or anything. Just always happens in the shower. I got to rush out the shower, or I've got to hum that piece of music until I get out of the shower, get it written straight away, or it's gone forever. And many things have been gone forever. But yeah, people inspire me. Music inspires me. Inspiration sometimes just strikes by itself. And inspiration isn't something that you can necessarily force, and isn't very tangible. So it can be a tricky one. It can be tricky for sure. If you're looking for inspiration, sometimes you won't find it. Sometimes when you stop looking is when you'll find it. Sometimes like I'm looking for a bit for a song, and I'm just trying to think for ages, like, right, this song needs something. I need a riff like here or here, and I won't find it. And then 3 months later, I'll be like, I'll come up with the perfect idea for it. Sometimes that just happens. Sometimes you just gotta wait, not think about it. Please let me know if you have a way of, or like what you do for inspiration, because I'm sure everyone has their own little things, own little tricks. Like that inspiration block that so many people suffer from, whether it be like writer's block or artist block, you know, really what it is an inspiration block, right? And I suppose really what inspiration is an idea or a motivation to create an idea. I feel like inspiration and motivation are very much part of each other. Let's not do that line yet, I think. And you can certainly help those things along, help inspiration along, by doing things like creating a bank of playlists. So you might not use them straight away, but then you can go back to them when you're not feeling that inspired and go, oh yeah, that was cool. Or by doing something every day, doing a little bit of it every day. So if you're struggling with writing on guitar, maybe just play a bit of guitar every day. And then like, if you play guitar every day for a week, one of those days, you're probably going to come up with something that was quite interesting or something that you could build off of. I suppose those are my sort of thoughts on inspiration and how I feel about them and go about them. It's like, yeah, it's not tangible. It's not something you can always recreate. But there are little things that you can do to help yourself along. What are you all doing this week? Tomorrow I'm seeing my sisters. Both of them, I think. At the very least, the one that I don't see barely ever, because she lives in Edinburgh, which is the other side of the country. That'll be nice. Haven't seen that. They were supposed to come around at Christmas, but they were all ill. So, gonna give them their Christmas presents. Yeah. And I was hoping to get this bit done today, but either way, I feel like a decent chunk was accomplished there. And despite being ill, there were plenty of words there. Whether any of them you found useful or not. I hope you got some hobbying done. I hope you have a great week or weekend whenever you are watching this. Hope you have a great day or great sleep. It's all depending on when you're watching it. But it's nice to hang out with you anyway. Drop me a message as always if you have any questions or would like to chat. I am always available. Instagram's probably the easiest place. Or Facebook, anywhere really. Or drop me an email. My email's on my Instagram or my website. Drop me a message on my website. There's loads of ways to contact me. If you see a phone number anywhere, don't bother phoning it. There's no signal here. But, yeah. Farewell.